and welcome to TD Place on this beautiful Friday night in the nation's capital of Canada, Ottawa, Ontario, as Birmingham Legion FC coming in town to face off against Ottawa Fury FC. Gord Smith alongside myself, Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And Gord, what should be a fantastic matchup against what is a side in Birmingham who has very good form, 3 wins in the last 3 games, and a Fury side who's looking to get back into their good form. They've done well, had some draws, but not as many wins as they would like.
Yeah, Birmingham, as you said, that 3-game winning streak's put them right up the standings, only 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. So a win tonight could vault them as of 9 o'clock tonight in a playoff spot for the Legion.
Our players to watch for tonight's game for Birmingham, it's going to be the Ajax Ontario native, the Canadian Brian Wright.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. He's obviously someone that's going to be a thorn in the Fury side. Powerful, pacey, really get a chance to run at the Fury back 4 here tonight. Could cause them problems.
Has some MLS experience as well with the New England Revolution for Ottawa Fury FC. It's Cristiano Francois.
Oh, you know exactly what you're going to get from him every single time he's out there. He puts his head down, he runs at defenders, he's not afraid to take players on 1v1, and he's got an eye for goal when he can. That's exactly what the Fury are going to need here tonight to pick up 3 very, very big home points.
They call him the Cheetah, 6 goals so far this season for Cristiano. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the call just after the break, pardon me. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This program brought to you by Gabriel Pizza. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at gabrielpizza.com.
I waited till I was 49, 4 months short of my 50th birthday to start. Wish I'd started a lot earlier. Just start. The first step's the hardest. It's never a direct route to get there. What better investment can you make? Because without health, we've got nothing.
All right, everyone got everything?
Let's go.
I have to go pee.
All right, okay.
All right,
Okay.
Here we go.
Wait, Dad, hold on. Something.
Okay.
All right.
I need my pillow.
Christopher!
Nah. No. You can't take that.
The brand new 3-row Subaru Ascent. The perfect family SUV for your mostly perfect family.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back to TD Place here as we're about to get underway in Ottawa, Ontario, as Birmingham Legion and Ottawa Fury FC. What is a great Eastern Conference battle tonight. Just a few points separating these 2 teams, but what should be great to see if Birmingham can continue their form as of late.
I think they're going to have to. I mean, they need to obviously start picking up wins on the road. They started off with 2 wins on the road early doors, and then I think it's something like 5 losses now they've had on the trot. So they've got to try and stop that bleeding with regards to losing points on the road. Even picking up a point tonight wouldn't be a big loss for Birmingham here this evening.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Gabriel's Pizza. First for Birmingham Legion FC, what was on their Twitter is a 4-3-3, on our sheets possibly a 4-4-2, so we're still not quite sure what exactly they will be playing. Of course, Van Oekel in net for Birmingham. Wright, Williams, and Avila up top, a dynamic trio up there that will be looking. Of course, Avila on our stat sheet. Of course, a defender, but possibly playing up top today.
Who knows? You know, it's all about what we see once we get out there. The first whistle blows, we should be able to establish what sort of setup they're going with.
And their starting lineups for Ottawa Fury FC.
Well, a standard 4-3-3 formation. A couple of new faces in there. Mutumbala, Boskovic get their first start for the Ottawa Fury. Charlie Warden holding midfield. Gagnon Lapare, the utility player for the Ottawa Fury, filling in case in place of the suspended Val Fall here tonight. Manella, the other triangle in central midfield. Obasi, Barnathan, Boskovic, Howarth, your back four. Irving in goal. Mutumbala, Oliveira down the middle, and Francois, our player to watch for the Ottawa Fury, down that right side. As I said, Wright and Francois this evening, lots of pace, lots of power. It will be very interesting to see which one of those two gets the better of their fullbacks to possibly drive their team to 3 points tonight. And
Wallfall suspended due to yellow card accumulation throughout the season, but not too bad. He gets to celebrate with his brand new kid from last week. So congratulations to Wallfall.
I saw him downstairs before we got the game underway, and I said to him, I says, "You're suspended, you shouldn't even be here, you should be at home with your child." He kind of said, yeah, that's true, that's possibly what he should have been doing. However, he is here tonight to cheer his team on, hopefully for 3 points for the Ottawa Fury.
Well, we are underway here at TD Place on this Friday night as the ball goes out of play early for a Birmingham throw-in. It'll be interesting to see how Ottawa Fury starts off with their pace. We've seen them recently, Gord. The first 25-30 minutes have been very, very poor as of the last few games. Yeah. They'll need to change that and have a full 90-minute output against what is a Birmingham side, again, as we said, with 3 games and 3 wins. Yeah, you've got to try and get a positive start. Certainly at home you'd want to come out. I thought the last couple of home games they have been flat. And it has showed in the performance, but I think it's all about if you can get that early goal, really put Birmingham under pressure, force them out a little bit. It looks like they're playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation right now, 2 holding midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders, and then the big lad up front. So it will be interesting to see if they hold that, especially if they go down an early goal. Fancy footwork from Obasi, but can't win the corner, out for a goal kick as he just tried to get past what was a double team on him. I think we have to look at this trio in midfield for the Ottawa Fury, but certainly losing the creativity of Val Fall will be a bit of a loss. Gagnon Lapare certainly will try to get involved in the attack, but I think when he's in that midfield role, he tends to play a little bit deeper, don't get forward as much, and that sometimes works against the Fury. You don't have a midfielder that's willing to get beyond the 3 strikers up front. It tends to limit the field for you, doesn't stretch it as much for the back 4, and it does make it a little bit easier to mark. So we will have to see whether Manella does get forward, Gagnon Lapare gets forward. We certainly know Charlie Ward's not going to get forward. He's just going to sit back there in front of the back 4, passing the most number of passes by a long shot in the USL here in 2019. Charlie Ward with it, and we'll send it all the way back to Boskovic. Obasi on the left side for Ottawa Fury. Fury with their black and red striped kits with black socks. Birmingham white and gold kits, black shorts and white socks, as Gagnon Lapare is fouled to the left of the 18 area for Birmingham. Oh, nice little play there by Gagnon Lapare. He just tried to cut across the defender there. He got pulled down. Unfortunately for Birmingham, they're going to have to deal with an early set play off a delivery from Karl Howarth, who over the course of the entire season, I'd say he's about 90% with regards to hitting a man inside that 18-yard box. 6 goals so far this season for Karl. He sends an in-swinger in toward goal. He head on it, Obasi with it, and just wide. Gagnon Lapare dives to try and send one just inside of the post, but it squirts a couple inches wide. A great early start for Fury. Pardon me, it was cleared away by Birmingham about 4 corner. I've got to be honest with you, that should end up in the back of the net. It goes over Obasi's head. Oliveira. There it is. Gagnon Lapare just has a slash at it. And I think it is Van Okel that gets a touch on it to get it wide. In-swinger from Karl Howard right toward goal, but Van Okel gets his arms up and snags that one away from the far post. Yeah, just a wee bit too close to the big keeper. I mean, we've seen Van Okel a few times now coming into Ottawa. Oh, here's a great chance. Well done. Callum Irving with a punch out as Birmingham looked to catch Ottawa Fury napping on the counter. Chris Manella was the defender, but just got back in time. Had some help from Callum Irving offside on Birmingham. Oh, Wright was just sitting on the shoulder there waiting for that ball to get played through. Very, very good play by Callum Irving, realising the danger
coming out very quickly. I think Wright was going to be favoured to get on the end of it if Irving hadn't have been there, Tyler. So good play by the goalkeeper early, getting involved.
Knocked down. Battle in the midfield and whistled on a handball. And it'll be a Ottawa Fury free kick. Karl Howard takes it rather quickly, sprays it toward Cristiano Francois. Pardon me, that's Kevin Oliveira. Cleared out to midfield, and Callum Irving will settle things down and let that come toward him.
I think one thing Birmingham's got to hope today, with the 3 attacking midfielders, they've got to try and get close to Wright up front. You can't afford to leave him out there as a solo striker. He's got to get support, whether it's behind him or whether it's right or left. Tyler, he can't afford to be stranded against the 2 centre-backs here tonight.
Obasi gets past one Birmingham player. Oliveira sends it out wide to Karl Howard. Howard to Francois. Francois on the edge of the 18. Sneaks past one player. Francois sends it toward the middle. Set up for Oliveira. Can't get a foot on it. It's whistled away and a foul called against Ottawa Fury in a Birmingham free kick.
Oh, that needed to be left for Gagnon Lapare. He was perfectly placed. What a piece of skill, though, this is from Oliveira. When he throws the ball back, Gagnon Lapare was coming in behind. I don't know exactly who it was that got the touch back towards Oliveira, but Oliveira was closed down very, very quickly. I think if that ball runs across the first Fury striker, it ends up in the back of the net. Gagnon Lapare taking up a really good advanced position inside the 18-yard box. But a bright start here. 5.5 minutes in, the Ottawa Fury have really looked good. Obviously, you know, some of the discussion over the course of the last few weeks has been, as you'd mentioned earlier, the poor start, the flat start by the Fury. Well, it's certainly not happening here this evening. They've come out guns a-blazing, 2 or 3 chances already. Gagnon Lapare, the first one, the second one Oliveira just couldn't pull the trigger and got cleared away nicely by the Legion.
Callum Irving sprays this one over to Obasi. Off a Birmingham player out and a Ottawa throw-in. As
I think Birmingham were complaining or appealing that ball was actually out already before it was knocked there by Lopez, but the assistant referee in front of us was having none of it. Sorry, assistant referee on that far side was having none of it.
Obasi. Gagnon Lapare back to Obasi, and we'll send it all the way back to Boskovic. Gagnon Lapare. Over wides for Obasi. Obasi with some room to run, passes it to Oliveira, back to Obasi at 1-2. Back to Oliveira. Gagnon Lapare toward the middle to Charlie Ward. And they'll switch sides over on that right side to Karl Howard.
And that's something we have to see an awful lot here tonight. Charlie Ward spraying balls left and right to Obasi and Karl Howard in really good advanced positions, almost right up to the edge of the attacking third here tonight, Tyler. If they're too deep, it's just going to allow Birmingham all sorts of time in midfield and space in midfield. And we've seen teams do that. Playing with players up front, 3 up front themselves, it's forced the full-backs of the Fury to stay more defensively and forget about getting forward, much like we're seeing Karl Howard do it right now.
Howarth wins the header but can't keep it in as they call a foul on Howarth back at midfield.
Well, just a couple of line-up notes here. Obviously, we know about Val Fall being suspended. Nana Atakura still dealing with concussion issues. Moore Sam re-injured himself, likely out for another couple of weeks. Thiago out with a groin injury. Hopefully he's back next week as well. And the information we had been given was that Aidan Daniels is back in training, still not ready for full contact, but he is in the 18 here tonight on the bench for the Ottawa Fury. And I will say that I think they've missed his depth, the ability to come in and change things up in that attacking 3 over the course of the last 5-6 weeks.
Francois with it on the right side of the 18. Back to Karl Howard. To Manella. Charlie Ward tries to switch sides to Gagnon Lapare, but was intercepted on the way, and Wright will try and get this ball forward. Through ball that's intercepted by Barnathan, and now he'll spray back to try and find Mutsimbala. Gagnon Lapare. Oliveira to Mutsimbala. Back to Gagnon Lapare. And back toward the middle, Charlie Ward will send it over to that right side once again. Fury using the whole width of the field so far in this matchup.
And I think that's when they're more successful, Tyler, is when they are able to get that width into their game. If you don't get, you're playing with three in the middle, and it's a narrow triangle of three in the middle. So to get the width, you've got to get your fullbacks activated into central midfield. And we're seeing that right off the top here so far for Ottawa.
Obasi now on the left side. Wide out by the touchline, finds Oliveira. Just lifts it forward toward him. Oliveira can't get past the Birmingham defender. Is a nice defensive play coming.
I think it was Asiaido that was...
yeah, Asiaido was the...
Good.
Mutimbala now. So Obasi. Back to Mutimbala. Out wide, can't get past his defender. Is a good defensive play there.
No, I think that's the one thing you'd want to do. You want to get the pace of the three lads you've got up front here tonight for the Ottawa Fury. Get them into the game as quickly as possible. We've certainly seen Francois involved down that right-hand side. Kevin Oliveira just dropping a little bit deeper, almost playing a false nine, almost just playing behind the two strikers. And it's interesting to watch because when the Fury are defending, Mutimbala and Francois come into the middle of the park to create almost another triangle ahead of the triangle in midfield, and then when it's time to attack, go forward, they try to get out a little bit wider. I think that's done intentionally to maybe allow the space for Oliveira and for Obasi and Howarth to get down there, because you're forcing Birmingham to pull their defenders into central midfield.
Birmingham with some pressure now, sends it back to Van Oekel as they look to create some offense. Right now it's been all Ottawa Fury going forward. Possession right now as it stands on the USL website, 88% for Ottawa Fury. I see only 11% for Birmingham.
Who's got the other one?
11.9.
11.9. There you go.
Just updated.
All right.
Nice little move there coming from Avila. Avila sends it to the middle, but a shot that goes misleading there from Kobayashi.
I think he rushed that a little bit. If you'd have got a shout there by Williams, just perfectly placed at the edge of the 18-yard box. I don't know if he just got a little touch to get it around the defender. But when that ball got played across, a quick snapshot, unfortunately, Tyler, for Birmingham. The first real effort for Birmingham in front of goal was wide of that post. Well, the top goal scorer for Birmingham, unfortunately, is not here this evening. Prosper Kasim, unfortunately, is out of the lineup. He's not even here on the bench. 4 goals on the season. He's tied with Chandler Hoffman, who unfortunately, Hoffman himself is out as well. So Birmingham certainly have lost a lot of firepower. The top 2 scorers on the season, both out of the lineup here tonight. Daniel Johnson as well isn't here, so a changed lineup with regards to what you would possibly expect Birmingham Legion to look like. Kasim Johnson obviously out from their last game, the last starting 11, so chopping and changes for Coach So, and he's got to make sure that he's got the best 11 available to him on the park. And I think that's probably why you're seeing 2 holding midfielders, Tyler, just to try and bottle up that central midfield area, not allow the Ottawa Fury as much space and time.
On this right side, Herveau. Back to Lopez. And they'll swing it all the way back to Kyle Fisher in the defense. Back at midfield for Birmingham. Over on the left side now for Birmingham. Sent toward the middle and cleared out momentarily by Ottawa. Back on this right side, Lopez. Trying to evade the pressure coming from Fury. Siadu. And all the way back to Van Oekel and a regroup for Birmingham. Good pressure so far from Fury defending, not letting Birmingham get anywhere near the 18 so far. just seem to can't break down the middle as of right now. Now Mutumbala with some good offensive pressure, and Van Elkel will just have to send that as far as he can up toward his forwards, but intercepted. And now in possession of Karl Howard in the Ottawa Fury. Over to Obasi. Boskovic.
I'd like to see us be a little bit more positive down this left-hand side. Get a quicker ball released if we can. When the ball comes out to Obasi, sometimes he just tends to take that little bit extra step, that little bit extra touch. That's offside, unfortunately, coming back.
A ball played toward Cristiano Francois by Karl Howard, and as you mentioned, Gord, about a foot offside there. Run a little too early coming from Cristiano Francois.
And the defender obviously was on the inside of him, so you could see his run in front of him all the time, which makes it that much easier to decide that I'm just going to slow down, check up a little bit, let him continue his run, and he's obviously going to be in an offside position. But
15th minute here at TD Place. 0-0 the scoreline between Ottawa Fury FC and Birmingham Legion FC. Gord Smith alongside myself, Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us here on what is a beautiful Friday night in the nation's capital.
Long weekend as well.
That's
so
right.
Hopefully we've got a fairly decent crowd. Sometimes these type of holiday weekends go against the Fury, whether they're playing on a Friday, whether they're playing on a Sunday, but fingers crossed we've got a decent enough crowd here this evening that are out here to cheer on the Ottawa Fury.
The patio party sure looks packed over behind what is the Ottawa Fury FC goal, and patio on the field. How awesome is that?
That's cool. It really is.
Ball played to Oliveira, but knocked out of play by Birmingham. It'll be an Ottawa throw-in.
Yeah.
3/4 of the way into the field toward Birmingham side.
Tyler, things are really, really congested. About 15 yards out from the 18-yard box. Anytime a ball's getting played in, there's 6 white shirts at least trying to crowd out the 3 attackers for the Fury. You've got to find a way now of possibly try and get Francois out wide, Mutumbala out wide, and then you can maybe create some space for Jeremy and Chris Manella to get into those spaces that's been opened.
Pasco's misleading there for Obasi, and now here's a counterattack coming from Birmingham. On this right side, Lopez sends it toward the middle, and awkward ball for Callum Irving. Had to knee that one away, as coming in strong was J.J. Williams. Now Birmingham on the left side. Breaks inside the 18, and that's going to be a free kick for sure, just outside the 18, as Chris Manella knocks his man down from behind in a dangerous set-piece position for Birmingham here, just to the left of the 18.
Well, that last play there where Irving again had to come outside the 18-yard box, I think it just bounced, checked up a little bit, and unfortunately for him, he had to go out and knee it. And there we see Chris Manella as Herveur just stepped across and was obviously playing for the foul, got it. And now a very, very dangerous chance for the Legion. Fury have defending to do. 17 minutes gone, still scoreless here tonight.
About 2 yards outside of the 18 on the left-hand side. It'll be a 2-man wall for Ottawa Fury. Lined up over the ball for Birmingham is Culbertson, along with Kobayashi. We'll see who will take it. Kobayashi with a swinging ball in and right to Callum Irving. Didn't have to move and swallows that one for Ottawa Fury.
Well, I think they'll be disappointed at that, because you brought 5 of the big lads up. You brought the big lads up from the back. You had 5 white shirts in the box waiting to possibly get a deflection, and that ball was hit with far too much pace all the way in towards the goalkeeper, right into the breadbasket. Callum Irving didn't even really have to move to make the stop. So I'm sure they were happy with the free kick in that good advanced position, but the execution of it just wasn't good enough.
Birmingham throw in here right at midfield. Lopez sends it as far forward as he can, but easy for Boskovic as he juggles that one in some trouble, and will now eventually get it over to Obasi. Obasi now just hammers that one up forward, trying to find Mutumbala out running, but that ball goes out of play and right down to the Birmingham bench. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many other of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Charlie Ward. Over to Karl Howarth. Manella. Gagnon Lapare. And over to Abassi with some room here on the left-hand side. Back to Gagnon Lapare. Abassi finds Mutambala pushing forward. Mutambala knocks it down. Back to Abassi. Back to Mutambala. One-on-one here, Mutambala. His pass is intercepted. Nice read from Asiadu, and Birmingham now goes back the other way, but a ball too far, and Boscovich will play that back to Callum Irving, and Fury FC will once again retain possession here.
Two other games on the dock for the Eastern Conference here tonight. New York Red Bulls 2-0, St. Louis FC 0. New York 0, St. Louis 0. And that started at the same time as Ottawa's game here tonight. The other game is Atlanta United 2, Loudoun United FC, kicking off at 7:30 Eastern here tonight. So again, it is possible that St. Louis could pick up some points. You've got St. Louis, Ottawa and Birmingham all in that same area in the standings, Tyler. It'll be really interesting how this evening finishes up.
Well, as usual, the USL East always a cluster around the midfield, and drama right down to the final weeks of the regular season. As a slide tackle coming from Boscovich. Now the other way, Birmingham. Lopez. Avila. Pressured. Gets the ball away. Kobayashi. A little 1-2. Pardon me, that's Hervo now. Hervo. Tackled from Manella, and Obasi will play that forward. Can't get it to Mutambala, just a bit short for him, and Birmingham got possession back. Now Hervo. Ball played down toward the touchline. Can he keep it in? He can. He sends it into the patio party down behind the Ottawa goal, but a good idea coming there from Birmingham.
Well, Hervo made a really nice run down the channel. He snuck in behind, in between Obasi and Boscovich down this left channel, the right channel, sorry, and unfortunately for Birmingham Legion, just couldn't get his foot around the ball, but that's a great tackle by Boscovich, going to ground, getting it cleared away. Unfortunately, Birmingham are starting to win a little bit more of the second balls, Tyler, coming out from the defensive third for the Fury. They've got to just pick up on that a little bit better, try and get Manella, try and get Ward, try and get Gagnon Lapare on these balls.
Cristiano Francois in a chase, and it's played out to the far side. Oliveira now. Oliveira with some room, races inside the 18, sends the ball in, but no one on the back post for Ottawa Fury. Mutambala was the only one close, but he was near the near post. Only one man in the box as a chance goes missed opportunity there for Ottawa Fury.
Yeah, Mutambala had made a good run to the front post, Tyler, but unfortunately Jeremy Gagnon Lapare just needed to continue his run. He'd got to the edge of the 18-yard box a little bit more. A couple of more steps, 3 or 4 more, he was in a decent position.
Karl Howard now. Howarth, his ball in. Mutambala tries to go up for it, but it's knocked away by Birmingham. Oh, nifty little play there coming from right now. Tackle from Boscovich, a hard tackle there. Pardon me, that was J.J. Williams with the chance for Birmingham, who was trying to lead the ball forward.
Yeah, and Wright was starting to take up a good position down the left as well. So caught in possession there, Williams. If he releases that ball a little bit earlier, possibly gives Wright a chance to run onto it. Could have been trouble for the Fury.
Manella to Charlie Ward. On this right-hand side, Obasi. Back to Boscovich. Ward. And back to the other side, Karl Howard on the left-hand side. Chris Manella. Howarth. Back to the middle, Charlie Ward. Obasi now with some room on this right-hand side. But 25 yards away from goal here. Mutambala tries a 1-2 with Gagnon Lapare, but well read by Birmingham. And now the other way. Williams knocked down, looking for a foul. He'll get one as Obasi came back and caught Williams around the shin area, and a free kick for Birmingham at midfield.
Well, here we see this break here by Williams, and that's a terrific tackle once again by Boscovich. Outside of the left foot, just making sure that the Williams was unable to get that ball out to right down that left channel. But watching the Legion set up right now with that line of 4 and then 2 holding midfielders, Tyler, it's impossible for the 3 strikers for the Fury to find any pocket of space. They're so close to each other that it really is almost like a line of 6 right along that 18-yard box.
Lopez stands over the ball, and the 3 Birmingham white shirts near the 18 for the Legion. That ball played in and right to Karl Howard, who heads that away. Francois pressured, sneaks through 3 Birmingham defenders and out to Mutambala. Now with pace, Otto Fury play it forward. Mutambala can't see the run there of Francois, and a well done tackle coming from Asiatu.
Yeah, I think that's just the inexperience there, Tyler. He saw the defender was coming towards him. He needed to take a shorter touch as opposed to the long one that he did. Gave the defender all sorts of time to make a decision. I'm going to go into the tackle. Unfortunately, Francois, who was making a really powerful run down the left channel, couldn't get the ball fed to him.
Now back in his own goal, Irving inside the Ottawa end. Boscovich will play it forward as they look to once again work upfield. That ball just a little too far from Mutambala, and it goes up and out of play.
Well, Ottawa had a big signing this week. Tyler, you probably spent more time at the training ground with regards to Hadji Barry, but is there a possibility we might see him here tonight as well?
Well, first off, Kevin Oliveira in the 18 tries to take a shot. That's deflected out for a corner, but as you mentioned, Gord, a big signing for Ottawa Fury FC as they get Hadji Barry. Played in the USL before with two seasons ago with Swope Park Rangers and as well with Orlando City B, and averages a goal every 2 games in the USL, which is pretty big numbers for.
It really is. 31 goals in 60 games played, and I'm sure at some point he will find himself inserted into this lineup, whether it's tonight or sometime over the next week or 2.
Karl Howard with an in-swinger on the corner, cleared away. Mutambala presses forward, Francois. Now a foul called against Obasi and a Birmingham free kick. And Hadji Barry, much needed depth up top that Fury have needed throughout the season. They've been talking about trying to bring a quality striker in to push this Ottawa Fury team kind of over the top and to challenge for a top 4 position. And General Manager Julian De Guzman, stated during the press conference when Hadji Barry was signed that he feels that this signing makes them title contenders now. And now it's up to Hadji Barry and Ottawa Fury to make that happen. Of course, they have the game, the 2-legged game versus Toronto FC in the Canadian Championships coming up. The first leg will be at home here at TD Place on Wednesday, and then a week from then they'll be playing at BMO Field. Toronto, the MLS side, have made a couple signings themselves, so it should be a fantastic matchup between two sides that, of course, do not like each other.
Well, Julian De Guzman delivered. He said he would deliver. He has delivered. It's now up to the players to get the job done on the park.
Manella. Howarth. You just speak back to whether we will see Hadji Barry in this game, Gord. You have a feeling that we might see him come on as a sub. Of course, he is on the bench, and you would think that they would get him a little bit familiar with this. Hasn't played in a couple months. He came from Israel in the Premier League over there, so it was in his off season, and hasn't played a game in a couple months. I'm sure some game time would be beneficial for him. Maybe if we see him come on in the early parts of the second half, midway through the second half, to try and get his legs under him, some game time under him. Gagnon Lapre over Obasi now with lots of room. Obasi near the corner flag. Back to Manella. Gagnon Lapre presses forward. Leaves it for Obasi out wide. Back to Gagnon Lapre. Just outside the 18. Gets away from his man up toward the middle. Oliveira. Charlie Ward and back up top to Dakota Barnathan, and over to that right side now, Karl Howard will try to get in through. Now Manella with a long drive toward goal, and that sails up over goal and for a goal kick.
Nice little interplay out on this left-hand side with Obasi and Gagnon Lapre, but my first thought was we've got to have a little bit more urgency to get the ball into the box. But when I looked into the box, there was 1 black shirt and 5 white shirts. So it was nigh impossible that you were going to win that ball when it got played into the box. You eventually had to play the ball around. Manella with a shot 25 yards out, unfortunately for the Ottawa Fury, well over the crossbar. But I think it's about getting bodies into the box, supporting. We certainly see that with Val Fall, and unfortunately with him on the bench here tonight, him up in the stands here tonight, we just don't have that offensive thrust from midfield right now. A lot of endeavour, a lot of work, a lot of effort and commitment from the lads that are in there, but we just don't have that match-winning, ball-winning type player in the attacking third right now.
Francois, Daniel Lapere out wide. Karl Howard, he sends a ball in and it's cleared away. Well done there coming from Laurent. If you're just joining us, 30th minute here at TD Place, Birmingham Legion FC 0, Ottawa Fury FC 0. Thank you for joining us here on this Friday. Now Mutumbala in the 18. Tries to send a ball forward. Oliveira with some room. Oliveira some time and can't get the ball away. Seemed that Laurent may have gotten a shin on it to block that shot attempt, but not quick enough for Kevin Oliveira. Chance goes away.
He's got to take that first time. And there is no ifs, ands or buts about it. He cannot afford to take an extra touch. That's the touch that killed him. If he takes that first time, the goalkeeper's going away from where the ball actually is. He's at his left-hand post. Kevin Oliveira's got to hit that right first time. He probably would have been looking at 1-0 for the Ottawa Fury. I'm not sure if possibly a little bit of confidence issue right now for Kevin. He's just struggling a little bit in front of goal, but that was a golden opportunity for the Fury.
Well, they'll try again. A ball played once again from Mutumbala to Oliveira, but not quick enough, and it's out off Oliveira and out for a goal kick. It was a wonderful ball from Mutumbala. Again, we see that here, and we see that in the last play as well. So the link-up play is there, just the last kind of finish for Ottawa Fury lacking in that certain aspect.
Again, back to Barry, you talked about, obviously coming in as a striker who's got an eye for goal and he can put the ball in the back of the net, but you look at the lads like Moore Sam. Moore Sam came in here and was absolutely fantastic. He was on a run of, I think it was like 4 or 5 games, Tyler, where he was scoring every single game, and you've got a player like Aidan Daniels as well, so you certainly do have the depth. Unfortunately, it's sitting up in the stands with us. Wonderful skill from Karl Howard to get past 2 Birmingham defenders, and now going to go out for a goal kick as Francois tried to play that for the corner, but Karl Howard showing his quality once again throughout. We've seen it so far this season, playing that right back role, and it's just been a skill to watch, a joy to watch this season, because he has been fantastic in creating opportunities for Ottawa Fury. Of course, the former striker now playing back on that right-hand side. Yeah, I think he's found his home. I think that's where he's going to finish up his career, is at that right back position. Possibly if you could play in a wing back position with a 3-5-2 formation, I think that would be absolutely perfect for him. Right now he's playing in a back 4 right back and being asked to get forward and support into midfield and attack, but he brings everything you would want in a modern day football, and he's got, oh my goodness. Oh, bad turnover there from Birmingham, and now Fury look to punish them on the counter, but Francois gets tackled there, having to step up, and a good play coming from Laurent. Once again, we've seen him be so solid so far in that back 4 for Birmingham. He's played a fantastic first half hour for Birmingham. Yeah, and Francois did have 1 or 2 players breaking to his left, but I don't think he was ever able to get his head up, have a look to see where exactly the support was, and unfortunately for the Fury, ran right into the defender who got it cleared away. 32 minutes gone, still 0-0 here. Birmingham Legion 10 points in the standings right now. Both teams have played 20 games. Birmingham 10 points behind the Ottawa Fury, but incredibly Birmingham find themselves only 2 points out of a playoff spot, so all to play for. Their goal difference will work against them, Tyler, as they start getting into their -16 coming into tonight. Ottawa Fury +10, so a massive difference between these two squads with regards to goals for and goals against. But so far right now, I think Birmingham's playing a perfect road game. You're solid at the back, you're packing that back line, and you're really making it almost impossible for the front 3 to work together. Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 chances where Mutumbala and Oliveira have tried to link up, but for the most part you've been able to keep them separated, you've been able to keep them apart from each other, and it's been difficult to find any space in the attacking third for a real quality opportunity. Well, it's amazing what some confidence in a run of form can do for a squad. 3 wins in a row, and they're playing with all the confidence in the world right now, and it puts them right up in the table as well. Looking forward now, Birmingham, with some pressure on. Heriveau. He gets a 1-2 ball. Heriveau in the box. Heriveau sends it toward the middle! Oh, cleared off the line by Karl Howard. Heads it toward Callum Irving, and
a chance that somehow stays out of the net for Birmingham, and they'll feel robbed on that one.
Oh, terrific 1-2. Heravo just looked across there. He thought it might have gone down there. The ball goes back. It goes off the post, actually. It's nothing to do with Karl Howard. That comes back off the post, and it goes straight into the waiting arms of Callum Irving. A major let-off for the Ottawa Fury here in the 34th minute. But a lovely 1-2 at the edge of the box. The Fury didn't pick it up ball watching. Heads were spinning all around. And unfortunately for Birmingham, the best chance of the match for both teams comes off the woodwork.
Gagnon Laparé now for Fury. Charlie Ward. Karl Howarth. Howarth cuts toward the middle to Manella. Manella can't find Oliveira, and it's intercepted, and once again Birmingham look to come upfield. And trying to find Callum Irving out of goal there. A ambitious effort from JJ.
Trying to win Rooney. Yeah, that was never gonna come off. But the problem for the Ottawa Fury is they've got to be really careful. They are committing bodies forward into that midfield third, trying to get the ball wide to Karl. But when it breaks down, a slack ball there the last time by Chris Manella, there's 3 or 4 white shirts steaming forward against 2 black and red shirts. And that could just cause them some problems as this game continues.
Charlie Ward to Howarth. His ball for Francois, intercepted, but Fury take possession right back. Ward. Gagnon Laparé. Ward. Karl Howarth. On that right side, sends it toward the middle. Oliveira just outside the 18. Oliveira with a shot and a great save there coming from Van Oekel as he gets down and makes sure there's no rebound as well. Good idea coming from the Fury striker.
Well, for one of the few times here tonight, Oliveira was able to find that pocket of space between the 2 lines of 4 and 2. A bit of a snapshot there, just couldn't get it beyond Van Oekel. The big keeper goes down to his left to make the stop, but that's far better. A lot quicker, a lot more urgency, Graham Tyler, in getting the ball into the attacking third, and that's the problem right now for Birmingham. If Ottawa is able to get that ball quickly in there, they've got to deal with it.
Well, Graham Ivory on vacation in PAI. Hopefully he's enjoying his vacation.
I'm sure he's watching and listening in tonight, and he'll be happy that I've made that.
Well, now he has his airtime, so
yeah,
he should be happy.
That's it, yeah, for sure.
Poor play from Fury. Now a ball that comes off a Fury defender, and no, it will say offside from right, but you know what? That could have been played onside off a Fury defender.
That was a very, very late flag that came up as well. Wright had taken about 3 or 4 steps towards the ball. But this tackle from Manella, I'm just wondering.
Oh, it's from Barnathan there.
Yeah, he certainly is offside. I mean, of that there's no doubt, but the play was allowed to continue for a good 3-4 seconds before the flag went up. It was Barnathan that made the tackle on
Barnathan, yeah, Barnathan with the tackle.
It did look, I wouldn't say it was reckless, but it did look a little bit
aggressive, you could say.
Maybe even a little bit high, and unfortunately for
I believe it's Kobayashi that's down. Looking at his knee, and he'll get some medical support there. But yes, AJ Jack back in Montreal as well. So
that's right, yes.
Calling the Red Blacks Alouettes game, Graham Ivory and PEI, and look who they turn to, Gord?
And I'm sure Graham is watching. And he's a Fury diehard through and through, and I'm sure he's put the kids to bed early, and 8 o'clock down east, it's like, oh, get to bed, lads. Daddy's got computer time to take care of, and I'm sure he's watching the game. But he'll be back on Wednesday for the big game against TFC, him and AJ. Well, unfortunately, we don't have it on TV here, but it will be on TSN radio that they will be covering the game for them. So it will be very interesting to see how that game goes down.
This is how we will find out if Mr. Otto Fury is listening, and see if we get a text for some halftime analysis coming from Mr. Ivory.
I will just ignore it. New York 1, St. Louis 0 in the 38th minute. Atlanta Loudon 0-0 after 9 minutes. So St. Louis on the back end right now, not picking up any points. They will stay at 24 if they're not able to overcome that 1-0 deficit. Late in the first half, right enough, but lots of time for St. Louis to get back into it.
Celebrating its 10th episode, U.S. soccer legend Landon Donovan in USL San Diego corner. Warren Smith join Steal Some Time, hosted by Kelsey Steele and Scott Stewart. Get insight on USL's newest club while catching up on all the latest around the league. Listen on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe today to Steal Some Time. Mutambala now up at the 18, tackled there, and free kick called for Fury FC just outside the 18, about 5 yards outside and to the left. And that will be a Karl Howard territory for an in-swinger, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they had, obviously, we saw the one earlier on where they had a decent chance. I think it was Gagnon Lapare that stabbed the ball wide off of Van Okel. So it will be an opportunity once again. Oh, the spray's not working. There it is.
Magic spray, they call that, eh? Or is the magic spray the stuff that freezes you for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the magic spray is the stuff that freezes you and gets you miraculously back on your feet.
It's amazing how that works, eh?
But again, another good delivery is required here from Karl. We talked about the ability for him to find a Fury player inside that box. He's got to do it again here. 5 minutes left to go, first half.
Howarth, one-man wall for Birmingham. 5 black jerseys in the box, an in-swinger in. Can't find Oliveira, knocked down by Van Okel as Boskovic was kind of flying his head toward the ball as well.
Well, that's that type of ball Tyler whipped into the 6-yard box. Very, very fortunate that it came off a Birmingham player. I think that's Herivo. No.
I think that's Kobayashi again down,
yeah.
And an injury concern. I think we're going to see a substitution here for Birmingham. And unfortunate there for Daigo Kobayashi because...
well, Birmingham only have 5 subs here with them tonight. One of them's a goalie. The only midfielder they've got is Hollinger Jansen. So it's entirely possible that we will see him coming into midfield for Kobayashi, but he doesn't look comfortable at all, does he?
It does look like a knee injury for Kobayashi. He's going to, I think did the trainer come on? He might continue for a little bit to try and get the substitute set up, so I think he's going to be coming right off.
I don't think the trainer's going on at all.
Well, I think he's coming off no matter what. I think it's he's had enough of his injury and hopefully non-serious for him as well.
It could be Opoku coming in as well. We're just trying to see
the number here.
The number that comes up from the official. Yeah, it is going to be. Yeah, it is going to be Eri Opoku coming in. So unfortunately, for the midfielder Kobayashi, he has to come off, and it will be right now Birmingham Legion playing with 10 men. As we're in the 42nd minute, still scoreless here at TD Place. The sun slowly but surely making its way down behind the buildings, which will help Matt Van Okel in the second half, because he won't be looking at the same sun that Callum Irving was during this first 45 minutes.
So Opoku ready to come on at the next stoppage. Fury with possession, and Karl Howarth as the sun sets here at TD Place. Boskovic. Hard ball to Karl Howarth.
Never mind a hard ball, that was a fantastic
ball.
That was at least 50 yards. Right, one side of the park to the other. Terrific switch of play. And for a player that's coming in and playing his first game in the Ottawa Fury lineup, I think he's been terrific inside these first 42 minutes. Tyler, he's looked composed on the ball. He's been assured in the tackle.
Very confident.
And as we just saw there, he's got the ability, that left peg of his, to whip a ball 50 yards all the way to the far side of the park.
Well, he is a big center back, a strong boy. And showed his power there. Gagnon Lapare. Barnathan to Howarth. Manila with some room to Gagnon Lapare in the middle. Charlie Ward back to Boskovic. Over to Barnathan, a little too heavy for him. Barnathan has to chase, but does gather the ball. Now a ball played forward, trying to find Cristiano Francois, and that will go off the Birmingham defender and out for a corner for Ottawa Fury FC, and it'll be once again Karl Howard as we do see Opoku come on for Birmingham. Just before half, a 44th minute sub. 0-0 here at TD Place. Howarth, outswinger to Boscovich. Headed away by Birmingham, and they'll try to head upfield now. Opoku to Van Oekel.
Well, the Fury obviously had a couple of set plays. Tyler have looked fairly solid. The ball getting played in. Van Oekel obviously picking up the ones that are inside the 6-yard box, but a couple of times the Fury have just been able to find a teammate, and I think that's something that has to continue over the course of the second half. Is you're getting these set plays in good positions, you've got to take care of them.
Oliveira looking for Francois, as we looks like we'll have
3 minutes.
3 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. Ball out for a goal kick.
Oh, we talk about Boscovich. I mean, had a decent career, a very good career at Ryerson in the OUA University soccer, but Rookie of the Year, I believe it was, 2016-17, had a great season. And now he's here as a pro playing with the Ottawa Fury, so that's wonderful to see that we're getting players coming through not only from academies and what have you, but from the university level as well.
Ball played forward, and Barnathan misplays that, and that will go out for a throw in deep inside of Fury territory. As we hit the 45th minute here, 3 minutes of added time just before half, 0-0. Long throw in, and Callum Irving climbs up the ladder and will grab that one out of midair and start the attack for Fury FC as he sends a throw all the way to Gagnon Lapare. Obasi, Charlie Ward, Manila, Ward, and to Barnathan. Manila, over to Barnathan. Finds Francois. Francois onside in the 18th. Francois plays it to the middle. Mutsambala there, and it's just going to go wide. Mutsambala didn't get all of that kick. Caught it with the inside foot, his right foot.
Well, Kyle Fisher was very, very lucky because he decided to let that ball come to him. Instead of attacking it, he just waits for it. Mutsambala gets there first. Very, very lucky for the Legion. You've got to be far more decisive inside your own 18-yard box, Tyler. You can't let that ball come to you. You've got to attack it. Very, very lucky for the Legion there. They're not down 1-0 heading into the half.
Van Oekel with the goal kick. Finds the head of Gagnon Lapare, and that will go to Callum Irving, who chests that down and plays it back forward. Mutsambala can't win the header. It's out of play on Birmingham, and a throw-in for Fury. Obasi weighs his options and finds... Oh, he's still weighing his options. Now finds Mutsambala, but knocked down by Birmingham. Avila. Foul called as Brian Wright draws a foul in midfield.
The crowd aren't happy with that. I don't think Manila's happy with it either, but Wright did appear to take a little bit of a knock on that ankle.
It's a couple of challenges we've seen Manila from behind now as well, so I'm sure he's going to have to watch as the game goes on. He doesn't continue that.
Yeah, you just want to make sure the opposition know that you're there. You're not going to get a free rein in central midfield tonight. And as you said, he's been handing it out a couple of times. He's man enough and big enough to take it, so as good as you get.
Poku. Beautiful ball over to Lopez on this right side to inside right. Knocked down once again by Boscovich, stepping up once again in that back four. Great first half so far for Boscovich.
It really has been. He's been, if not the best Fury player on the park. Other than his sweeper behind him, Callum Irving, who on 3 different occasions has had to come outside his 18-yard box.
Long throw in there from right, and it's punched out by Callum Irving and out for a corner for Birmingham. I'm sure what is one of the last parts of this first half.
Well, I'm not sure if Callum Irving was actually decided to come for that a little bit late. And you only had one option, Tyler, and that was to punch the ball away. But defensive work to do here for the Fury.
Culbertson standing over top the corner. In-swinger ball toward the back post. Culbertson knocked away by Irving as he got a hand up on it. And that will be the first half whistle. A dangerous last piece there coming from Birmingham Legion as they try to get one on the board before half here, but it stays 0-0, no scoring after 45 minutes of play here at TD Place.
Yeah, a good opening 15-20 minutes by the Ottawa Fury. I think 20 minutes in, the Birmingham Legion started to find their feet a little bit. Definitely had one or two chances inside the attacking third, but I think for the most part it's been the Ottawa Fury, and the inability, unfortunately, just to find that final killer ball, Tyler, has worked against them here tonight.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our halftime segment coming up 0-0 at TD Place here at halftime. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This program brought to you by Gabriel Pizza. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
These photos I had to dig for because I would hide from photos. I didn't want to be acknowledged. What I would say to my former self is just get started, just begin. Go into Good Life, meet with the trainer, go to a class, just start.
Come on.
Come on, go make some friends.
It's so tough to give them a run in the city, but they really love it here. Be gentle, be gentle.
We're making friends.
See the one that, well, it's just going in circles?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Off.
Come on, time to go. Come here.
The all-new Crosstrek.
Come here. Now.
It's up for it.
Oh, no. Oh, there he goes.
I just shampooed him this morning.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Well, welcome back to TD Place here in Ottawa, Ontario. Halftime 0-0 between Ottawa Fury FC and Birmingham Legion FC. What has been a first half that has started off with Ottawa Fury FC controlling possession, but Birmingham coming on as of late, and a great chance at the end of the first half for Birmingham as well to try and get one on the board. I'm sure we're going to see the pace pick up a little bit here in the second half as both teams look to get 3 points here from tonight's match. We'll now send it to the highlights from around the league, Week 22 in the USL.
Now get some time. Sam Warner, the beauty. From distance, on the way and in! Goal, Las Vegas Lights! And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? It will go for goal! Oh my goodness!
Gents, hey, keep moving forward here. I feel like we're close, but it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right.
It's part of the community. I think it's not a mistake that you drive anywhere in the city and you'll see the red Kickers K. I was certainly honored to play for the club and understand it's just a part of the city.
We're the longest continuously run professional soccer team in the country, which is pretty cool. We had Charleston Battery beat by one day. We played on a Friday night in '93. They played on a Saturday. We take great pride in that.
There's a really good structure in place, and there has been a really good structure in place for a long time now, even from when I was back here as a youth player. The coaching staff, the the culture, the way things are done at the Kickers is at the highest level. Everyone's committed, everyone's 100% in.
We have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club, and they believe in me and believe in the club and respect the history that we have as a club. So it's been a lot of fun so far, just kind of getting this group together.
Welcome back here to TD Place. Let's go around the league here in the USL. Rising into the record books, Phoenix Rising FC becomes the first team in USL Championship history to win 11 straight league matches. They travel to take on LA Galaxy 2 on Saturday. Incredible in Phoenix. Going international, Hartford Athletic to host Puerto Rico national soccer team on August 17th. A portion of those ticket sales will go to the Hurricane Relief Fund. And Wednesday Night Soccer, it returns on ESPN August 7th at 11 Eastern as Sacramento Republic FC hosts the Las Vegas Lights FC. Let's take a look at around the league and an out-of-town scoreboard so far in this one. Of course, St. Louis and Red Bull, New York Red Bulls, 1-0 there at halftime. Our game, of course, 0-0 there. Gord, some very important games around the USL. Atlanta United 2, Loudoun FC 1-1. And the tonight's game, Real Monarchs versus Colorado Springs, that's at 10 o'clock.
Well, New York Red Bulls with a win tonight will go back to the top of the Eastern Conference, 1 point above Tampa Bay.
You speak of the Eastern Conference, let's take a look at that and where they stand right now. And you see how close it is, how congested it is in the USL East.
Ottawa, if they're able to win, they will jump up to 5th spot here tonight. And certainly, as we mentioned earlier on, Tampa Bay going into 43, they would go to 41 for New York Red Bulls. They go to 44, 1 point above. So it's all about this afternoon, it's all about this evening with regards to the Ottawa Fury, trying to get those 3 important points to put them tied up with Nashville. Unfortunately, Nashville don't have 20 wins on the season. Wins, obviously.
That would be impressive.
That would be very impressive. They've already played 35 games if that's the case, but it looks like it's, I'm just trying to do the quick math there, 10 possibly.
I believe it is 10.
Yeah,
10 wins
10
for
wins
Nashville.
and 5 draws, so it's 10-10-5. So even with an Ottawa Fury win tonight, they will stay in 6th place because of the 10 wins to 9. But you've still got to do the business here in the second half. It's been a good 45 minutes so far by the Fury. Not perfect. There's been some mistakes, there's been some errors, but we got a chance to talk about it when we come back.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our halftime will continue. This is Out of Fury FC Soccer.
This program brought to you by Gabriel Pizza. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
I waited till I was 49, 4 months short of my 50th birthday to start. Wish I'd started a lot earlier. Just start. The first step's the hardest. It's never a direct route to get there. What better investment can you make? Because without health, we've got nothing.
All right, everyone got everything?
Let's go.
I have to go pee.
All right, okay.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Wait, Dad, hold on. Something.
Okay.
All right.
I need my pillow.
Christopher!
Nah. No. You can't take that.
The brand new 3-row Subaru Ascent. the perfect family SUV for your mostly perfect family.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back to TD Place 0-0 here at halftime between Ottawa Fury FC and Birmingham Legion FC. And what was the first half with, it started off a little slow, but the pace has picked up near the end of that first half, and I'm sure we'll continue into the second.
I think one thing you want if you're the Ottawa Fury, you want that field to be stretched. You want to tire Birmingham out as much as you can. They don't have a full bench here tonight, so if you're able to get into that bench early, it might be good for the Fury as this game gets to the end.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights here, presented by Budweiser.
Hi, Coach. A good ball play there again. There's that, finding that first ball, the Ottawa Fury getting it inside the 6-yard box. And there we see, unfortunately, Jeremy Gagnon-Lapierre. I didn't honestly see anyone from the Birmingham Legion touch that. Here's a free kick on the far side for Birmingham. And again, Boskovic going to ground, a terrific tackle, a second terrific tackle. And there's our third one. He's been outstanding at the heart of the Fury defence. This one here, when that ball gets cut back to Oliveira, right there he's got to pull the trigger. He cannot afford to take the extra touch, and that just worked against him, and it's still 0-0 here after 45 minutes.
Oh, it has been an issue for Ottawa Fury FC in those final balls, and Oliveira getting that confidence back. Of course, that scary one off the post.
Yeah, and that's the best chance of the entire first half. As much as Ottawa Fury has been in possession, Ottawa Fury has had the better chances. The one that came off the post was the best chance of the evening so far. But here we see 8 shots at goal, only 2 on target. But you are obviously maintaining the lion's share of possession in the attacking third. 8 shots to 3. That possession, as we would have expected after watching that first 45 minutes, Charlie Ward just sitting back there, getting the ball from the 2 stoppers, and he's spreading wonderful balls left, wonderful balls right. I would like to see a little bit more urgency down this left-hand side if we can, Tyler. If we're able to get that ball forward a little bit quicker, create some more opportunities in the attacking third. Sometimes we like to just turn back away from the pressure and go back to a stopper just because it's the easy ball to play. Take a risk, take a little bit more of a, a little bit more of a danger pass if you want. Try and spring a little bit of magic ahead of you. And who knows, you may end up getting that first goal here tonight.
Our halftime stats brought to you by Rico, and the one, I guess, an interesting one is 0 shots on target for Birmingham. Although we did see, I guess, the USL did count it as a cross in, but there was that one cross coming in. You could, I guess, you call it from outside the 18 that Callum Irving had to stop. It was right to him, but if he lets that go, there's 2-3 Birmingham players right there to knock that home.
And I think that was the one thing we did comment at the time of it. If you're going to take a shot like that, you can't have it right down the gut of the goalkeeper. You've got to make the goalkeeper go right or left. The possibility you can spill it. And you had 4 or 5 guys in there ready to get onto the rebound. If you're going to make that shot, you've got to try and make the goalkeeper work. The only way he's going to spill it is if he is worked, and he didn't do it on that one occasion.
Let's also talk about how impressive Birmingham has been in the middle of the park, because they're letting Fury go to the wide ball, let them go outside, but once they try to bring the ball back in toward the center midfield area, toward the top of the 18, it's closed down right away and not letting Fury try to get inside that 18.
Well, as we said, very early doors, we recognised that it was a back 4 and then 2 holding midfielders right in front of them. Now, any striker would want to find that pocket of space in between that 4 and 2. It's just not available. The 2 are dropping almost right back onto the 4, and it's making it so difficult for Ottawa. That's why width is so important. That's why it has to be a quicker ball. That's why there has to be more urgency down this left-hand side.
We're going to see a change at halftime for Ottawa Fury as well. The new signing, Hadji Barry, will be coming in for Jeremy Gagnon-Lapierre. Interesting change, but for Hadji Barry, he gets a full half now to prove why he's the important signing for Ottawa Fury FC.
Well, I think with that move that was just mentioned, that to me would indicate that Kevin Oliveira is going to drop back into what for me is one of his more comfortable positions in an attacking midfield. You've still got Francois, you've still got Mutambala, and now you've got Barry. So Oliveira will drop into that midfield role, vacated by Jeremy Gagnon-Lapierre. No need for any system change, no need for any tactical change. Stick with the 4-3-3, and let's see if Barry's able to get a goal on his debut. 45 minutes here to do it.
We are underway here at TD Place in the second half. Mutambala plays it at the center position, right to Haji Berry. His first touch, not the one he wanted. His first touch for Ottawa Fury FC is he turns the ball over. Boskovic gets in front of it. Obasi plays it forward to Oliveira. Boskovic. Intercepted by Birmingham. Knocked down, and the other way, Oliveira, his touch goes out of play, and a Birmingham throw-in.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Oliveira works in that now. It's a completely different ball game from playing as a lead striker where you're having to go one-on-ones against defender, as opposed to when you're playing in a midfield role now where you've got just as much defensive responsibilities, Tyler, as you do in attack. He played mostly attacking midfield last season, so I don't think it's going to be a major change for him. It's just psychologically he's got to get back into the fact that I've got to now start tracking runners. I've got to stay with midfielders going forward. I can't just let the fullback or the stopper, take an extra 15, 20 yards into central midfield. So a little bit different way of looking at things for Kevin, but he's certainly talented enough. He's played experienced enough to know exactly how to play that role in central midfield.
It's definitely more of an attacking change for Ottawa Fury FC. Gagnon-Lapierre, whose quality on defense is known throughout the Ottawa Fury organization. Kevin Oliveira, of course, more known as an attacking player. Haji Berry obviously coming in as the attacking player for Ottawa Fury FC.
Yeah, and I don't know if Gagnon-Lapierre has maybe picked up an injury or something, or maybe he's just feeling the effects of the game. But I thought he was solid enough in that first 45 minutes. He was maintaining his shape quite nicely in that attacking third. And as we said off the top of the show, he was getting in good advanced positions. He did have that one decent chance early on in the game. I think it was 5 or 6 minutes in that unfortunately just went wide of the post. But I think all eyes and it's heavy expectations are on the shoulders of Haji Berry here, because you're bringing in a player now of quality. You're bringing in a player that knows the road to goal. Can he do the business here for the Fury?
Fury pushing forward. Karl Howard's ball cleared away by Birmingham, but only as far as Cristiano Francois. On this right side, Howarth. 1-2 to Francois. Plays the ball in, trying to find Mutambala, but cleared away well by Birmingham, as coming back on that ball was Asiadu.
Well, there's that link-up play between Karl Howard and Cristiano Francois, just quick as a flash. A ball gets played in and there's no dilly-dallying. It's just played right back down as a 1-2. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that as Karl Howard in the second half just slowly but surely starts taking an extra 5 yards, an extra 5 yards, an extra 5 yards. Before we know it, he's going to be camping up around that 18-yard box. Obasi on that far side plays it back inside to Boskovic. And again, I think a partnership of Boskovic and Barnathan. I know it's a brand new lineup with the two of them playing together, but I think they've looked fairly solid here this evening. Good communication, good awareness, good positioning sense of where their teammate is, Tyler. And once again, that's unfortunate. The ball just skipped up, but another terrific cross-field ball there by Boskovic.
And hopefully that's something Fury can realize in Boskovic, is the power that he does have and the accuracy he does have in playing those cross-field balls, and use that to their advantage offensively, because we've seen it now twice with Boskovic playing fantastic balls toward Karl Howard in that far side.
Well, you look at what you've had for stoppers so far this season. You've had Nana Takora, Thomas Merjager, you've had Barnathan in there as well, and any combination of those three have looked really solid. Now all of a sudden you're bringing a fourth lad in that's getting some decent minutes, certainly out of necessity. I don't know, Thomas Merjager's not even on the bench here tonight, so I'm not sure if he's just been rested for Wednesday night or if he picked up an injury late in training this week. But you've now got 4 lads that are completely able to play in these central defence positions.
Barnathan heads that away to Oliveira, and yes, lots of depth in that position now for Ottawa Fury FC. Ball lifted toward Haji Berry, and too far for him, cleared away by Birmingham. Kyle Fisher.
It is interesting, though, that they put Hadji Berry out on the wide left, so I just wonder if that is his preferred position. If you're going to put him in a situation like this, you do want to make sure that he's comfortable.
Turnover here. Kevin Oliveira sneaks in. Oliveira to Berry. Berry has to curl away. 2 men on him and will lose possession. A chance goes begging there for Ottawa Fury FC.
Well, again, I thought Kevin should have pulled the trigger. Once he saw the goalkeeper's eyes, he really should just have let fly. I think he maybe got a late call from Barry coming in.
Back the other way, and now Irving has to step in front of that one because J.J. Williams was breaking toward goal and a cross coming from Birmingham.
This is exactly what we talked about at half-time. The Fury want this game to be stretched 18-yard box to 18-yard box. They're confident that their fitness levels are far better than the Legion, and they want to make sure they tire Birmingham out, so these last 25-30 minutes are going to be all one-way traffic towards goalkeeper Van Okel.
Hadji Berry on that far side, and you're mentioning if that is his preferred position, head coach Nikola Popovic stating that he can't play all 3 roles that he would want him to play up top. He can play that false 9. He can play on each wing for Fury. So a player that has lots of potential. He's
a fairly big lad by the looks of it. So, I mean, I just wonder if down the middle might be a preferred opportunity for him.
Howarth gets past his man to Francois. Back to Howarth. With space, Howard to Berry, and miscommunication there going back post. Berry was running near post, and once again that final ball for Fury just misses.
Well, again, Mutambala and Barry appear to have made the same run. Karl didn't have any options. It was a little bit heavy, and he's saying it was my bad, but the fact of the matter is someone's got to make a run to the back post, someone makes a run to the front post, and again that'll just come with familiarity as you practice together. But Barry's run was pretty much almost going towards the same as Mutambala, and unfortunately for Howarth, he had one option, didn't hit it.
Manella off the turnover, gets the ball stripped off of him. Now Williams, with 4 red shirts around him, does well to get the ball out of trouble and send the ball forward. Harivo on that far side. Ball sent in to right, and offside. He was well offside, 5 yards at least, and we'll have a free kick for Fury.
Well, as I said, we do have the other subs for the Ottawa Fury. David Monsalve, the backup goalkeeper tonight. Maxime Tissot, Jamar Dixon, Jaden Vilfort. Cameron Shaw, the youngster in midfield. He's the only recognised midfield. I suppose Jamar Dixon can play midfield as well. Barry's already come on, and Aidan Daniel is the only other forward available for you. So I think Coach Popovic might be more than happy to see out the rest of this match, with the exception possibly of Tissot or Dixon maybe coming in if somebody picks up a little bit of an injury or somebody appears to be tiring. But you've really got to, you've got to pick up these 3 points. The dropping points at home is just not good enough for a team with aspirations, Tyler, of getting into the top 4.
Manella stripped off the ball, but we'll get that back as he gives it to Barnathan. Over to Howarth now with space. Karl Howarth on his right side. Howarth toward the 18, tries to find Berry. Berry knocks it down, but misplays it out of play.
Oh, it's got to be really difficult for the lad coming in and making his debut tonight. He's only been with the team for what?
So he came in on Monday, was his first training day.
Right.
Pardon me, Tuesday.
Tuesday
was his first training day.
So he's only been basically 3 days of practice, because Friday more or less is just a walkthrough with regards to what you're going to try to do. But it is going to be tough for him to get up to speed, especially as you mentioned, the key point. You haven't played in 2 months, and I mean, you can have all the skill in the world. It's the match shape that you've got to get up to speed as quickly as possible. And the only way you're going to do that, it's not in training, it's not in little friendly matches, it's in these type of games where you're digging deep. You've got to make sure you're 100% ready to go to get something out of these type of matches and get that match fitness that's needed.
Long ball played forward and trying to find Berry, who can't hold that down, and will just hold out for possession in an Ottawa throw-in. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for your team and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on your team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Some fans down in the States with ESPN, you can make sure you follow along with your Canadian team, the Ottawa Fury FC. Boskovic Almost near side, Obasi tries to find Barry. Once again, that chemistry just not quite there. Runs that people are thinking will be made, not being made, and to the wrong side as going forward was Birmingham there. Charlie Ward with the interception.
Yeah, it was a really good, important interception there by Charlie Ward. He recognised the danger was getting away from the two stoppers. And he just stuck a foot in there, did extremely well to stop the ball going forward and turn it the other way for the Ottawa Fury.
Now Charlie Ward pulls back. Now finds Karl Howarth. Howarth with the outside of the foot pass to Cristiano Francois. Can he keep possession? He does well to keep possession momentarily, or then fights back as Asiatu did well to come back and win the free kick off of Haji Berry.
A minute left to go. It is Atlanta United 2-2, Loudoun United FC 2. So a barn burner down there, and it will be very into. Atlanta's been on the end of some real hammerings recently, so the fact that they're still in it at 2-2 at half time has to be very positive for them. New York 1, St. Louis 0 still.
Well, a shot that goes in the back of the net, but offside is Opoku, who had the right idea, but was about a yard or so offside, and that goal will be disallowed, of course.
Well, here we see it. I mean, you know, it is. I mean, he's at least a yard, two. Now he's possibly 3 yards offside. We can see with the football line 5 yards there, so there was definitely at least 2.5, 3 yards. But good to see them getting forward, though. You don't want to be sitting back too defensively, and as I said, Ottawa will just tire you out as this game does go on.
Manella over to Howarth. Howarth beats his man inside. Plays it to Francois. Francois in, tries to find Mutsambala. Haji Berry on it. Can't get possession. And once again, we're seeing Asiatu step in and intercept. He's been so crucial in not holding midfield possession for Birmingham in this game.
Well, as we saw in the first half, we're certainly seeing here in the second half, the chemistry between Francois and Howarth is outstanding. And I think that's where, if Ottawa's going to have any success here this evening, any ball that's going to end up in the back of the net is going to come down this right-hand side, and a ball getting played in, possibly Oliveira arriving to the party late to get a shot away. Haji Berry, unfortunately, just a little bit late to react there. He did see the opportunity and the possibility.
Now the overlap for Birmingham. They're inside the 18 of Fury. Send up top. Here's Opoku. Opoku with a drive that's blocked on the way to goal.
Oh, exact same as Oliveira earlier on in the first half. He's got to take that on the first shot.
Now stripped off the ball there was Avila. Back the other way. Here comes Fury. Francois tries to play that to Mutsambali. He's got the pace but can't get to it in time. Well done play from Birmingham, trying to counter the counter of Ottawa Fury FC.
That was a terrific defensive play there by big number 22, Mathieu Laurent. He was going to get beat for pace on the outside. Mutsambala had come in from behind him. The defender did ever so well, just getting his body there in between the ball and the player.
We mentioned how we thought the pace would pick up here in the second half. It surely has here as we're in the 59th minute at TD Place. Gord Smith alongside myself, Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us here today. 0-0 so far in tonight's matchup. Mutsambala now tries to find Barry with a cross, but the run wasn't made on that far post, and it'll go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong decision. You had a 1v2 down this right-hand side. You possibly should have brought Francois into the play.
There was the block shot for Ottawa Fury to save a chance coming from Birmingham. Van Okel with the goal kick will play this ball forward. Substitutes warming up on both sides. Possible fresh legs coming on soon for either team. Obasi intercepts the Van Okel clearance. Now Haji Berry makes a move, cuts inside, can't get past it. A good defensive play there coming from Kyle Fisher.
That wasn't a good defensive play. That was an outstanding defensive play, Tyler, because Haji Berry had megged him, cut inside, and the young lad did well to make sure he got back and put a final touch in that took it away from Barry. But that's the type of skill I think that Barry's got in his locker, that he's going to be able to take defenders on 1v1. But that was a lovely piece of play there by Kyle Fisher. Very well done.
Culbertson, his pass intercepted. Howarth gets past him with pace. Howarth knocked out and out of play there by Asiadu. Now Francois, heavy touch. Ball goes toward Birmingham as they look to clear Asiadu. Can't get it out, and it will go out for a Birmingham throw-in off the foot of Francois.
Well, again, terrific work by Karl Howard down this right-hand side. One possession, carried it beyond a couple of players, and just unfortunately any ball getting into the box. Here we see Hadji, and there it is, that final touch by Fisher. Wonderful to go to ground. But Barry was going to be in all alone on the goalkeeper from the edge of the 18-yard box.
Fisher. Laurent. Back to Fisher. Erivo. Back to Laurent as Birmingham just weigh their options. Patience moving forward in the midfield. Run going to that far side was not there, as again once miscommunication on the Birmingham side, out for a goal kick for Fury FC.
Well, we're inside the final 30 minutes, and this is about the time you start thinking, okay, now we've got to make strategic substitutions. What are we doing well that I can make better? What are we doing poorly that I can try and improve? And I think right now we may be lacking a little bit down the middle of the park again, much like we were in the first half when Kevin Oliveira was dropping deep. He's onside.
Hadji Berry onside. Keeps the ball in near the touchline. Berry, one-on-one, finds Mutambala inside the 18. To Obasi, his touch a little heavy. Mutambala still on it. Foul called against Fury FC. And we'll have a free kick inside of the Birmingham 18.
Well, unfortunate there for the Ottawa Fury. Barry had beaten the offside trap. He did well to get in behind that back four, but when the ball was played into the box, it just started to be almost like that one extra touch too heavy, and unfortunately for Obasi, that's exactly what happened. His first touch took him in towards the defender just stood his ground, and Obasi went through him. An easy call for the referee, who, has to be said, has had a fairly solid game so far here inside the first 62 minutes. There hasn't been an awful lot of contentious decisions for her to make, but she's kept the game trying to get it flow. She's brought down the obvious fouls and called them up, and I think it's been a solid performance by the referee here this evening.
Tune into ESPN News on August 7th at 11 p.m. Look at that's right after the Ottawa Fury Toronto FC Canadian Championship match here at TD Place. Wednesday night soccer featuring the two sides fighting to get back above the playoff line. Sacramento Republic FC hosts Las Vegas Lights FC as the playoff battle heats up with a crucial 3 points on the line. See it all August 7th at 11 p.m. Here's Francois. Francois knocked down. No foul given as Nikola Popovic, irate, wants a foul there outside the 18 but doesn't get it.
Yeah, I would have preferred the free kick as opposed to maintaining possession. You did have the ball in the attacking third. That may have been the thought process of the referee, but in that area, that's Karl Howard territory. You want that free kick.
How Hadji Berry to Obasi just over his foot and cleared away. Miscommunication, and Birmingham now get the ball forward. Foul called there against Oliveira and a free kick for the Legion. And you can hear the displeasure coming from the Fury faithful. But it was a clear, obvious foul for Birmingham, pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, Oliveira just kept his right leg in there, and Heriville just went right over it, and a free kick, a fairly straightforward call for the referee on that play there.
Fisher behind the free kick, plays it short to Heriville, and had to be quick because Oliveira is in pressing. All the way back to Van Oekel. He'll spray this one over on the left-hand side to Culbertson. Intercepted, now Francois. Oliveira plays it for Francois. One-on-one, he'll race up park, cuts toward the middle, gets past his man. Francois with a shot toward goal, and just over the tipping fingers of Van Oekel. And out for a goal kick. Wasn't far off, a good idea coming from Cristiano Francois.
Oh, terrific strike. He just cuts inside, dips the shoulder right here, leaves the defender for dead. I want to see how close that was. Wow, well, you know what? It was starting to curl back in towards that far post, Tyler. So, decent effort there by Cristiano Francois, moving from his right side over to the left. When he cuts in, he's on his favoured right foot, and I think that worked well for him there. 6
goals so far this season for Francois.
tied for third on the team behind Morsam and Wallfall. Both of those players not in the lineup tonight.
Well, I just wonder if we are, as we said, looking at possibly a substitution. Is it Maxime Tissot that might get brought in? Will they possibly risk Aidan Daniels, who may not be 100% fit, but I think if you're going to bring in Tissot, you can play him on that wide left position, move Hadji Berry into the middle and possibly take Mutambala off.
I could see Mutambala also coming off for Aidan Daniels, right up top.
Yeah, either or. That's exactly what you would think, is that if you are going to make a forward, I think it would be Mutambala that would be. You're certainly not going to take Barry off, and the way Cristiano Francois into this match, you're not going to take him off, so it would possibly be Mutambala, who's done okay in his first start here for the Ottawa Fury, Tyler. A couple of stops and starts for him. He has looked as if he's lively and he's got a fair bit of pace to him, but I think just that first touch has to be a little bit better. Certainly when the ball comes to him quickly and he gets put under a little bit of pressure.
The free kick for Birmingham goes cleared by Ottawa Fury FC. Only to midfield as it's sent over that far side. Lopez keeps it in. Harivo back to Fisher. Fisher has to go all the way back to Van Olkel as Hadji Berry with a little bit of press coming forward. Oliveira now pressing, and Fisher will just have to send that forward, intercepted by Charlie Ward.
Yeah, I think when Hadji Berry gets that pressure up on Van Olkel, he's expecting Oliveira to be a good 10-15 yards further up the park to help on the press, and unfortunately it wasn't there, and they were able to break it and get the ball forward.
Skipping ball goes forward, and Berry plays it forward for Mutambala. Can he get there? No. Racing back in time was Kyle Culbertson. A defensive play he had to make, but does well to get it out of touch.
A good turn of pace there by the fullback. He really had to make sure he was maintaining pace ahead of Mutambala. A lovely little flick through from Hadji Berry right there. Mutambala's in behind Fisher, but that's wonderful defensive coverage. Realising where the danger was, coming across from his left back position, but only knocking it out for a corner kick. The Ottawa Fury still on the ascendancy here.
It'll be a Howarth in-swinger here coming toward the near post, and Birmingham player is down, and I'm sure Fury will have to take the throw in here, and now we have a kind of conference near the referee, and we'll see what's going to happen here.
Well, that's after the fact. We don't see exactly what happened there between Oliveira. It appeared the referee blew the whistle before the ball was played in, so I don't know if we're going to get a good chance to see that. And it looks like it's Lopez.
Oliveira being called over here, and I believe is just getting a talking to.
Well, I honestly don't think anyone saw what had happened, because I think Oliveira was just making his way towards the goalkeeper to stand in front of him. He's pleading his innocence. He doesn't think anything happened. I don't believe we've got a good enough angle to see exactly what. Maybe the two of them just bumped into each other as they were trying to maintain position. But either way, the referee is just having a chat with Lopez as well, who's obviously not happy that the contact was made. But
I think Lopez is looking for the assistant to make a call, and obviously he didn't see anything either. So.
Yeah, there's no need to be wagging your finger in anybody's face either. Make your point and then just step away. I mean, the last thing you want to be doing is, taking an aggressive stance with the official and putting yourself in even more trouble. So I'm sure we're going to have a camera kept on those two for the next 30 seconds or so.
An in-swinger once again by Howarth. Over the far post. It's connected by Oliveira, but goes begging over the goal, and he'll be wishing he got a little more up for that ball, as it could have been 1-0 for Fury.
I think Obasi was in behind him. He may have been even better placed. A terrific ball once again. Yeah, you see Obasi.
Yeah, and he's telling
Oliveira's actually taking a step backwards, so he's not getting that power. Obasi was going to be able to take a step right into the ball.
We're going to see,
unfortunately for Maxime,
Aidan Daniels coming on.
Well, there you go. Well, earlier on this week, the information we'd been given that he was back in training, but still not in full contact, and he was likely going to be out for another week. But he is now being summoned from behind the goal, and he will now be coming in. I would certainly expect that it would be Mutambala that would be coming off. Oh dear,
God, beautiful play by Karl Howard as he nutmegs another Birmingham player. Oliveira steps on the ball. Oh, he's got to worry for ankle injuries there. It looks like he'll be all right and able to continue. Lopez. His ball cleared away by Barnathan to Manella. Manella doesn't get a full strike of that one. Charlie Ward plays it back to Boskovic. Obasi. Long ball forward looking for Barry, but out of play.
Yeah, a guy that hasn't played in 2 months isn't chasing after a ball like that. I'll tell you that right now.
Still waiting on the word to see who Aidan Daniels will be taking off board.
Yeah, I would expect it would be Mutambala, just a straight swap like for like. But you never know. I mean, they could decide to maybe go with just 2 up top. You've got a little bit more height with Hadji Berry, maybe.
And it will be Mutambala coming off.
That's what we kind of assumed, that it would be Mutambala coming off, and Daniels with a chance to come on inside these final 20 minutes plus time added on. Tyler with an opportunity to, you know, endear himself once again to this home crowd, because he certainly is a type of player that can excite, that can score goals, and if he's able to pull out the match winner here this evening, my goodness, this place would explode.
Aidan Daniels does have 1 goal so far this season for Ottawa Fury FC. And it was actually the match before he got injured, unfortunately, in training. That saw him out for about a month or so. Fans at the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Howarth keeps the ball in play. Ward. Manella has some time. Francois with pressure on him. Sends it back to Charlie Ward. Ward sprays it over to Obasi on the opposite side of the pitch. Obasi gets past his man inside the 18, lays it for Barry. Barry, tough touch there and loses possession. Boskovic will have to go all the way back and send it to Irving. Callum Irving regroups and back forward, Fury come. Charlie Ward. Manila right at midfield as they enter the Birmingham half. Francois. Cristiano Francois with some pace. Gets past his man, but a wonderful tackle once again coming there from Culbertson. Opoku lays it off, finds his man. Harivo with a shot blocked. And now Charlie Ward will have to try and relieve the pressure coming on for Birmingham. Boskovic sends it over to Barry. Hadji Barry to Oliveira. Oliveira back to Barry. Calling everyone forward. Barry with some room. Runs forward. Gets past his man, taken down, and we'll have a free kick.
That could be the first yellow of the evening.
And we are going to see a yellow to Lopez in the 74th minute. The first card comes out 0-0 here at TD Place. But Barry was just racing forward here, and you can see, it just gets in front of him.
Yeah, a couple of little step overs there. He was looking to get in behind there, and unfortunately for the Fury, it did break down. But again, this is the third free kick we've seen that Karl Howard will have an opportunity, right-footed, to whip that ball in towards the 6-yard box. If you can get Boskovic or Barnathan onto it, and there is a substitution being made now before the free kick taken. Mutambala, who's had a good performance, 74 minutes here. As I said, he did some positive things. There was some things in his game that will probably have to improve as he gets more experience, Tyler, but well done to the young man for getting his first start in here for the Ottawa Fury.
I believe we're going to see a substitution on the Birmingham side as well. And it's going to be Femi Hollinger-Jansen. Now a ball in for Fury. Down to Oliveira. It's on the top of his head and cleared away. And out for a throw and back all the way at midfield for Fury. A decent chance for Fury, but Oliveira just having that ball kind of sit on the top of his head.
Yeah, it certainly was. Unfortunately for Kevin, just unable to get the header in whatsoever, but a good ball once again by Karl. It's a challenge for it in there. He gets the right foot on it. Instead of getting it towards goal, it goes straight up in the air, and unfortunately for the Fury, another decent set play opportunity goes a-begging.
Ward can't find Howarth. Manella back to Barnathan. Boscovich. Aiden Daniels taken down, no call. Oh, late call, pardon me.
Yeah, it was a late call, and I'm not sure if possibly the referee had the sight of Nikola Popovic absolutely beside himself there, pleading for that free kick. He did eventually get it.
Here comes a sub for Birmingham. It's Brian Wright coming off for the Legion. Coming in will be Femi Hollinger-Jansen. And Wright taking his time coming off the pitch. And
yeah, he struggled. You know, we did highlight the possibility that he could be a player to watch for Birmingham. I think outside of maybe 10-15 minutes, he just wasn't getting the support up front in that lone striker role, Tyler. And it's such, when you're up against two lads like Barnathan and Boscovich who are on their game tonight, it's really, really difficult to find that little area of space in the attacking third. And if you're not getting the service number one and you're not getting the support number two, it's a long, long evening for you.
0-0 here, 77th minute. Fury and Legion here at TD Place. Gordon Smith alongside myself, Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight on this beautiful Friday night in Ottawa. A foul called against Birmingham as Oliveira goes down, and once again we'll see the service of Karl Howard come in, and they'll need to have a better final ball going toward inside the box.
Yeah.
It's been good service from Howarth.
I think he's just going to leave it for Aiden Daniels to take it quickly.
Charlie Ward to Daniels now. Daniels tries to dance around his man. Can't keep the ball as he's double teamed. And the ball will just squeak. No, stays in play.
Yeah, you can see Birmingham, even in the counter-attack, just not committing bodies forward at all.
Haji Berry now with some pace. Berry gets taken down.
That's another yellow.
And that will be, is that Lopez again?
Yeah, he's off.
Lopez
he's off.
In trouble here. And will he see another yellow? It would be, he's already on a yellow. Just 3 minutes ago he had the yellow, and you think this could be trouble.
She certainly made the indication she was going to the press to the pocket, and I think that's exactly what's going to have to happen right now. He will get his second yellow card, and he is gone from this match here tonight.
A red card for Mikey Lopez, and this game has just turned on its head. Opportunity for Ottawa Fury FC now to try and convert on what is a now short-handed Birmingham Legion team.
Well, I mean, Berry was going into a really good position. I think he was going to get behind. When he decided to go left, Lopez just leaves the right leg in there. Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, there's no way you can justify that not as being a card, and that's exactly what has happened here tonight. Unfortunately, Birmingham will finish these final 12 minutes down a man, and possibly, if Karl Howard has his way, down a goal as well.
Certainly Karl Howard territory. 27 yards, about 28 yards away from goal.
Well, 18 and 5 is 23 plus 2. I'd say maybe 25 yards. Yeah, that's about what the distance is. Almost perfect for a right footer up and over that left side of the wall into the top hand corner. But he's a big goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel.
Yeah.
He really will get across the balls quickly.
And Karl making sure that all the players
yards.
behind the 10 yards. Of course, the foam spray will be included, but a big wall for Birmingham.
Yeah.
5, 6 possible white shirts in there, with Boscovich trying to decoy everyone as well in the middle of that.
Yeah, Karl's got to be careful. He just doesn't talk himself into a yellow card here himself. Could this be the crucial moment for the Ottawa Fury?
Howarth lines up. Howarth with his right foot up and off the wall. He'll try again on the half volley, looking for a handball, won't get one, and cleared away. Foul called against Fury, and it's going to be Birmingham free kick from the edge of the 18.
Yeah, he's claiming for a handball there as he was trying to flick the ball up and over the top of the advancing defenders, but just couldn't get that first initial shot up and over the wall, Tyler, and it came back towards him. Nothing came of it, and the Fury now back into their defensive shape as they try to press forward inside these final 10 minutes, Tyler, and get this all-important crucial goal. Another home tie is just not what is needed here for these Ottawa Fury players.
Substitutes on both sides. There's going to be 2 15s coming in for both sides. Ward will be coming in for Avila on Birmingham, and we'll see Max Tissot come in for Anwar Obasi for the Ottawa Fury side. 81st minute, both teams looking to make a change as Callum Irving snatches that one away. Long ball played forward, tried to find Francois. It's knocked, and Francois can't keep it in touch, and we'll see both substitutions coming in now. Gordon, your thoughts on this change for Fury, Tissot for Obasi?
I think if anything, it's just fresh legs down that left-hand side. Obasi's had a good second half. He's done really well getting into good advanced positions for support, as we've seen Karl down the right-hand side. So maybe just tiring a little bit as this match peters out. But you're bringing in Maxime Tissot, and you're like a dog to a bone. I mean, he's just going to be ready to go and get stuck in.
Well, the Birmingham player is not coming off here.
Doesn't want to come off.
Does he not know he's coming off? It's Avila who's...
He's a Manchester City goalkeeper.
An infamous play from last year. He's finally realized that yes, it is
it was a Chelsea goalkeeper, wasn't it?
It was Chelsea.
Yeah, it was Chelsea goalkeeper, yeah. But no, I mean, I think you're bringing on defender for a defender, or you're trying to go a little bit more defensive, certainly bringing in Ward, an out-and-out defender, and he's pushing a player on that far side. I think it was number 88 who's just come on a little while ago. He's getting pushed up into midfield, so I think you've still got the 4 at the back. I think now you're going to just go with a 4-4-1, and even Williams is probably going to drop back and just to help out in the middle. I think he's just up there to keep them honest. But this is where the cat and mouse game plays. Is there any reason for the Ottawa Fury to maintain 4 players at the back and possibly another one, Charlie Ward, dropping deep? Get your two fullbacks, right up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Go with the 2 at the back with Charlie Ward helping out.
Well, that's what you think Tissot would be in there for, a little bit extra pace compared to Obasi, who's more of a finesse footwork type of player. Tissot has that pace on the far side and is looking to make his impact. Beautiful ball to Karl Howard, but a tough touch on his right foot and goes to Van Oekel.
Well, I think initially Karl was going to play that to himself, but when his touch was heavy, unfortunately, Cristiano Francois had read the fact that Karl was going to play, and he was just trying to peel away and make an option for him inside the 18-yard box when Karl had got on the ball.
Ward. Aiden Daniels. All the way over to Tissot now. Max Tissot to Oliveira. Ward. Barnafin. Chris Manella. Karl Howarth. Howarth curls back and get past his man and out for a throw-in off the foot of Opoku.
Yeah, 2 banks of 4 are just completely collapsing now onto the 18-yard box. There is no way they're going to allow the Ottawa Fury to get this winning goal here tonight.
Foul called against Birmingham, and it'll be a free kick for Ottawa just near the sideline here on this right-hand side, and looks like Karl Howard will set up his opportunity and try to send one inside of the box. Tissot being told to go in the box as well. There's 6 Fury shirts inside of the 18, 5 Fury shirts. Howarth, a low swinging ball in, cleared away momentarily, up in the air, it ping-pongs away. Sent back down, and a foul called against Fury. And we'll have a Birmingham free kick and possible injury here for, I believe that's Culbertson, that's back down just by the penalty area.
Yeah, it looked like he's holding his calf area, and we are going to see a little bit more of this as this game peters out. We're just going to see any free kicks that are given. I'm sure Birmingham will just stay a little bit longer on the ground, waste some more time, try and upset whatever rhythm or momentum the Fury are trying to gain here. And I think that's something that Nikola Popovic is probably just addressing with the 4th official as well.
Charlie Ward just ran up and put the ball in the goal. I'm not sure what his reasoning was for that, but
is that his first shot on target all season?
It might be. It might be.
Maybe he's just had enough and says, this is how you do it, lads.
Well, trying to get this game sparked up for Fury. Van Okel's clearance rolls all the way toward Manila. It's knocked down by Birmingham. Risky play coming here from Fury. Karl Howard now will just send that forward. Try to find Francois, but too far for him. Can't keep it in.
In the 86th minute, it is still New York 1, St. Louis 0. And it's still 2-2 between Atlanta and Loudoun United in the 57th minute.
Culbertson takes a couple of skips, gains about 10 yards on that throw-in, pardon me. Karl Howard now getting worked on and foul called. We'll have a Fury free kick from way deep inside of their territory. 86th minute, 0-0. Fury looking to get the winning goal here, and Birmingham looking to salvage a point. Down a man here, away at TD Place.
And make no bones about it, this would be an absolutely fantastic point for the Birmingham Legion. They've taken 9 out of the last 15, it would be 10 out of 18, but it would get them ever so closer to St. Louis. Only be 1 point behind them now if they are able to hang on, and if that result stays the way it is between New York and St. Louis.
Fancy forward from Manila sets up this Francois chance as now Howarth takes the ball. Karl Howard gets it past a couple of Birmingham defenders, but it's just whipped out of play by the Legion. Culbertson once again. Aiden Daniels now. Fury looking to play this fast and quick, trying to get a goal to seal all 3 points. Birmingham playing deep, playing tough, tight defensively. Oliveira lifts the ball toward Daniels just on the opposite side of his run. And cleared away by Birmingham. Charlie Ward comes up, intercepts the ball. Oliveira plays it out wide. Tiso back to Oliveira. Boscovich near center field. Barnathan. Dakota Barnathan plays it up top, tries to find Barry, and just a little bit too far for him. That's going to go out for a goal kick. Good idea coming from Barnathan there, but once again, a chance where the final third ball is just not there for Fury FC, and they don't get their chance to get a goal in this game so far.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, when the ball goes over the head of Hadji Barry, there's nobody coming in at that back post. Certainly Maxime Tissot, and the goalkeeper Van Okel picks up a yellow card for time wasting. The third of the evening for Birmingham. Obviously 2 of them went to Lopez, accounting for his red card here tonight. Obviously Birmingham playing the last 15 minutes or so, 13 minutes or so with 10 men.
On this near side now, Opoku gets past 1 man. Opoku now looking to make something. Maybe Birmingham trying to make sure they take all the points here away. Down a man, but it's Karl Howard with the intervention there. Manila, 88th minute at TD Place, 0-0. Charlie Ward. Boscovich. Back to Ward. Manila. To Francois. Francois with some speed. Francois gets inside the 18. Good. Culbertson once again gets his foot in it.
I think Culbertson's had a fantastic night for the Birmingham Legion. He's up against 2 of the most trickier players in the USL, and Francois and Karl Howard, and they've conceded nothing at all. Terrific performance by Culbertson.
Daniels, his ball is intercepted. That was going toward Oliveira. Now Williams taking his time, just trying to break this ball slowly forward for Birmingham. It's up pitch now, and Williams has it back.
And the Fury just can't afford to switch off here, can they? We've been told there's 5 minutes being added on here by the 4th official, so still lots of time for the Fury to get this winning goal here tonight and pick up 3 very, very important points in the chase for a top 4 spot.
Charlie Ward up near midfield now. Long ball forward to Tissot. Tissot can't get on top of it, just a little bit too far out of reach for him and out. And once again, those long balls toward the final third, an issue for Fury FC. Birmingham just gets the ball as far as Charlie Ward.
I mean, there's absolutely no out ball right now for Birmingham. Everybody is camped deep inside their own half.
Culbertson with the interception. Karl Howard with the slide tackle that doesn't go away, but still on his man. Foul called against Howarth, and you have to think very well done by Asiatu, who did it well to keep that ball and draw the free kick for Birmingham.
He certainly did. You know, you're inside the final minute of 90 and you've got 5 minutes coming. The one thing you want to try and do as Birmingham is just maintain possession. Don't concede it. We saw about 30 seconds, a minute before that, a ball just lumped up the park and there was absolutely no one in a white shirt anywhere near central midfield, and it just gave a few of the opposition opportunity on the second ball to come straight back at Birmingham.
5 minutes of added time has started as we're in. Played the full 90 now. Birmingham. Now here's Charlie Ward. Ward. To Oliveira. Back to Ward. Some urgency needs to be played here from Fury as it's played to Karl Howard now. Howarth with the touch, keeps it in play. Manella with some space, runs forward, gets over to Francois. Francois can't keep the ball. It's ripped off, and watch out off the assistant referee, and they're just going to stop play.
He's a wee bit rattled.
Make sure he's okay. He got that right off the head of the win.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that he's okay and can stay in this game. And I mean, here's the replay. That's as hard as you can by Williams, and
right off the back
of the head.
Yeah.
Cleared out all the way to Callum Irving for Birmingham as we're a minute into this added time.
Yeah, you've got to get that ball up the park. You cannot afford to be just pass the ball out between each other.
Charlie Ward tries to find Francois. It settles down. It's cleared away. Oliveira trying to win the ball back for Fury. He's knocked down and will win a free kick. And from about 35 yards out, Fury FC have another chance here. They play it quickly. Howarth.
Oh, she's going to call it back.
They're going to call it back, yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of afters there. There was some shouting there, I think, between...
Oh, yellow card as well.
He is getting the yellow card for a little bit of verbal abuse there towards Oliveira. He was lying on the ground. I think that's number 6, Asiedu, that gets that. Well, this has to be one of the final rolls of the dice here tonight for the Ottawa Fury, Tyler. I mean, they've huffed and they've puffed. They just have not been able to blow that defensive wall down of the Birmingham Legion here tonight. They have had their chances, 1 or 2 really good looks at goal. But I think overall, again, that final quality ball just hasn't been as good as it needs to be. I think Maxime Tissot's lining up for a shot here.
I think so as well. Tissot and Howarth are over this ball.
It is more set up for the left-footed player, so...
Max Tissot steps up, curls the ball toward goal, but skips up right to Van Oekel into his waiting arms.
Yeah, he hit that straight on. I think he was just trying to have it knuckle towards the goalkeeper. Van Oekel, though, did extremely well. Saw all the way. Went to ground, fairly routine stop in the end.
Van Oekel sends it all the way to Williams. Plays it down. Birmingham looking to get rid of as much time as they can here. Off Oliveira and out, off Birmingham, out for a Fury throw-in. Haji Berry taken down, loses possession. Manella gets it right back though. Now a ball all the way to Howarth. Fury FC captain brings the ball forward in the 4th minute of added time. His ball is missed opportunity once again, and Van Oekel will settle things down and wait for an opportunity for him to just gather the ball, and a little bit more time ticks off the clock for Fury. Van Oekel boots this ball about 75 yards down the pitch, knocked down, and Fury will take possession once again. Karl Howard with some pressure on him, sends the ball over, tries to find Francois, and in between Francois and Barry, goes out for a Fury throw. Now Howarth to Barry. Manella. Charlie Ward plays that far to Max Tissot on the left-hand side for Fury. Tissot can't get past his man. Well done, and a great tackle there coming from Ward. And and the ball will be played all the way as far as it can go once again. Dump and chase almost. You see that in hockey a lot, but well done from Birmingham to not let Fury inside of the 18 really here in the last 10-15 minutes when they've been down a man.
Yeah, and that's, it tends to be a lot harder to break down 10 men at times than it does 11, and that's exactly how these final 13 minutes have played out for the Ottawa Fury. There we go.
And there's the final whistle. Nothing goes of doing here, but both teams will walk away with 1 point tonight, as Ottawa Fury FC can't come out against what was a 10-man side for the latter parts of the game in the Birmingham Legion, but a well-done away game from Birmingham to settle for a point in Ottawa.
Yeah, a perfect road game, and we knew right away the way they were set up, 4-2-3-1, it was always going to be a case of can the Ottawa Fury break them down. They were unable to do so, and again, another home game results in a disappointing drop of points here too against the Birmingham Legion. Yeah,
really needed to get those points, didn't you, for Ottawa against a team that has been of great as of late of a form coming into this game with 3 wins in 3 games, and now they get another point as well, which will help their playoff chances and slowly working their way up the table.
Unbeaten in 4. I mean, and if you come to a tough place like Ottawa, you're coming to another country altogether, you've got visa issues to deal with, you've got all sorts of other things to take care of, but you've come up here, you've set your stall out to do what you tried to do, and that was get a point. You've done it here tonight. Fair play to Birmingham. I'm sure there's some good things that Ottawa were happy with, a few things that we aren't happy with.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our post-game analysis. 0-0 full-time at TD Place, Ottawa Fury and Birmingham Legion. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
These photos I had to dig for because I would hide from photos. I didn't want to be acknowledged. What I would say to my former self is just get started, just begin. Go into Good Life, meet with the trainer, go to a class, just start.
Come on.
Come on, go make some friends.
It's so tough to give them a run in the city, but they really love it here. Be gentle, be gentle.
We're making friends. See the one that, well, it's just going in circles?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Off. Come on, time to go. Come here.
The all-new Cross Track.
Come here. Now.
It's up for it.
Oh, no. Oh, there he goes.
I just shampooed him this morning.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back here to TD Place. 0-0 the scoreline after 90 minutes. And what was a game that was very defensive-minded, and that leads to our Ottawa Citizen Man of the Match, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the lad coming in, the loanee from Toronto FC, Boscovich, was outstanding here tonight. He made some fantastic tackles in the first half to stem some counter-attacks going the other way. His ability to spray balls 45, 50, 60 yards from one side of the field to the other is outstanding. And I thought his partnership alongside Barnathan tonight was terrific. And when you look at the depth that they've got now in the stopper position with Nana Atakora, Thomas Merjager, and these 2 lads out here tonight, I think they're well taken care of. Another shutout for Callum Irving. To be fair, he didn't have an awful lot to do. As I said, most of his play was as a sweeper in that first half, coming outside his 18-yard box to head, knee, whatever he needed to do to get the ball cleared away. But the disappointing fact of the matter is you are not scoring goals again, and it was a bedbug last year for the Ottawa Fury. It's now starting to creep its way back in. You're creating opportunities, but that final ball and that final shot, we saw a couple of hesitation plays tonight. They take that first time, the ball's in the back of the net, and this game effectively possibly over at 2 or 3-0 for the Fury.
Let's take a look at our full-time stats here, brought to you by Rico.
Yeah, 12-5. I mean, that certainly indicative of how that second half was played. I mean, it was all backs to the wall for the Birmingham Legion, and 12 shots, only 3 on target. That kind of tells you the story of how the game it went, Tyler. And of course, the 66% possession again. It was mostly Ottawa Fury. The field was tilted down towards Matt Van Oekel, but the big lad made the stops when he had to. The Fury just lacking a little bit of sharpness in front of goal here tonight.
No, and Culbertson Fisher very well as the center backs for Birmingham in this game as well, in front of Van Oekel to stop those chances for Fury FC, because we did see where, yes, they were getting forward, but that final third was so tough to break down inside for Birmingham. And even when that red card happened to Lopez, who got sent off in the latter parts of this game, it's still not able to be broken down, that back four, especially those center backs.
And you saw in the second half the amount of space and time that Karl Howard and Obasi had, and Tissot, when he came on late in the game, had down the flanks. And Birmingham were more than happy to let the Fury play down wide. They packed the middle of the park, and it made it so difficult for the triangle three in central midfield. And we know Val Fall wasn't playing, and that was a big loss. It really was for them in central midfield. But you've still got skillful and technical and ability lads out there that could have broken that back four and two down. Didn't happen tonight. You tried to get around the outside, get balls in behind the back four, but they did extremely well, Birmingham, and fair play to them for coming here, picking up a very, very big point for them in their chase for a playoff spot, never mind a top four spot that the Ottawa Fury are trying to get to.
Hadji Berry makes his debut for Ottawa Fury FC, coming on at halftime, and made an impact a little bit, got his chances, but a lack of chemistry, I think, was very shown in this game, Gord.
He was rusty. I mean, you know, you can't be out of the game for 2 months and then all of a sudden you get thrust into a high-power game where you say, go on, son, and win the game for us. It just doesn't happen. And unfortunately for him, I think as the game went on, some of his touches were starting to come back to him, and he was looking quick. He was looking, good with his feet. He won the free kick that unfortunately Fury couldn't score from. I think that was the first, or was that the second yellow card that Lopez ended up getting sent off for?
Yeah, it would have been the second.
Yeah, so, I mean, he came on, he will get better. We all know that, but the key word is chemistry. Yeah. He's got to get that link-up play with Oliveira. He's got to get in that link-up play with Val Fall and look for those balls that Charlie Ward is looking to play up and over the top, and Carl's going to be playing from a wide position. And once they all get on the same page, I think it'll come good. It's just unfortunate that, again, you've got a situation where we talked about it 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was doing the game with AJ, and the fact that this run of games for the Ottawa Fury were winnable games that really would give them an opportunity to push themselves up the table. Well, you dropped 3 points in Memphis last week. You've dropped another 2 points against Birmingham here tonight. And unfortunately, it's just got to get a little bit better, a little bit crisper, and a little bit sharper in front of goal for the Ottawa Fury.
Of course, we have talked about as of late the last few games of a slow start for Ottawa Fury. Did you feel like they got a full 90-minute performance out of this team today?
I thought 15-20 minutes it started really well, and then Birmingham 10 minutes or so were getting back into it. They had 1 or 2 chances themselves. Ottawa finished a stronger team at the end of the first half, and of course the second half was pretty much all Ottawa. There really wasn't an awful lot of offensive thrust from Birmingham. They were more than happy just to sit deep and hit on the counter-attack. But when you've got the one lad up front, it really makes it tough to try and get any success against 2 stoppers. The quality of the lads we had out here tonight for the Ottawa Fury.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Ottawa Fury FC. And, of course, was a very important Canadian Championship matchup with MLS side Toronto FC this Wednesday at home. And then next Wednesday at BMO Field in Toronto. They do have a break in the USL, but then it kicks right back off. They're away on the road at Loudoun, which needs to be a game where they need to take advantage of a Loudoun team that has been playing too well. Then the first matchup of the season versus St. Louis on the 24th at home, and finally another home one, a night game versus the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. St. Louis and Pittsburgh, 2 very dangerous teams in what will be a dangerous game for both teams in the race for the playoffs.
And just to wrap up the evening, the final score, New York Red Bulls 2, St. Louis 0. As of right now, the New York Red Bulls sit atop the Eastern Conference, 1 point above the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Next time we see you on TV will be, of course, that St. Louis game, but make sure you follow along the Fury FC's Canadian Championship run as they're in the semifinals versus Toronto FC here at TD Place on Wednesday. It's a massive game for all the Fury supporters, the team, and the management as well.
Is.
You have a little preview for that? Are you excited for that game?
Oh, you're always excited when an MLS team comes in, no matter who it is. I mean, we saw the upset with Cavalry beating Vancouver. It was such, for the CPL, it was such a terrific achievement that one of their teams has now moved on to the semi-final against a second MLS team I tell you what, I wouldn't be counting them out. No. Montreal are having a decent season themselves. They're starting to get some injured players back. But, you know, you get into these two-legged affairs and you get a decent result in the first one. You maybe, you know, grab an away goal, or you stop at Montreal from scoring at home when you're at home, and then you can go on the road like they did in Vancouver, pick up a 2-1 win and obviously seal the tie. So it will be two big ties. We know what we can expect from Ottawa-Toronto. We've seen it a couple of times now. Ottawa usually plays Toronto very tough here at TD Place, and then when it gets back down to BMO Field, it tends to get away from them. So I think you may look at you know, maybe taking more of a two-legged approach to it instead of trying going guns a-blazing in that first leg. Just maybe, if you get a 1-0 or even a 0-0, you're happy with that because you get a goal in Toronto. It forces them to score more than you. So it will be a massive fight between the TFC and Ottawa Fury, but we're all looking forward to it Wednesday. If you get a chance, get out, come and see it. Two quality sides on display here on Wednesday.
Cup magic, they call it. Cup magic.
There we go.
Rather in this game, Birmingham Legion and Ottawa Fury FC 0-0. Both teams come out with a point. For Gordon Smith, our producer Colin Murphy, my name is Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.